Hello guys, in this tutorial I will show you how you can make the new Vulkan AMD anti-lag feature work on Linux on the stable Mesa release. It just got merged into 25.3, but sadly this is currently only available in the experimental GitHub, so you need to use Git Mesa in order to use it. But I will show you how you can use it with your stable installation of Mesa. I will demonstrate it with two games. I will show it with Counter-Strike 2, as this game has a native anti-lag 2 implementation. And I will also show it with Deep Rock Galactic. This game does not have a anti-lag 2 implementation, but it supports NVIDIA Reflex. And there's a cool little tool or subcomponent of OptiScaler called Fake and Wappy. And with this, we can translate NVIDIA Reflex into other latency reduction technologies such as anti-lag 2. So I will show you how this works and just follow along. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. So to demonstrate, we are currently in Counter-Strike 2 and we're using the stable Mesa driver. And as you can see, we do not have anti-lag 2 as an option in game. As another example, we are in Deep Rock Galactic and I have OptiScaler and Fake and Wappy already installed. So if we go into the settings, you can see that I'm able to enable NVIDIA Reflex. And if we open the OptiScaler overlay, you can see that we are currently using Latency Flex, which is a system agnostic latency solution. And we want to replace that one with anti-lag 2. Another way to see what latency technology is used by the game, we can go into the game files. The path might differ from yours. This is where Deep Rock Galactic is installed on my PC. It should be the path where the game executable is located. And if we see, we have a log file, which we can open with a text editor. And if we look at the contents, there should be a line where it says that it failed to initialize anti-lag 2. And that it uses latency flex instead. This is the fallback solution and we want to change that. So there are basically two ways how you can use this tool. The easy way includes installing mesa-git, but it comes with a caveat because as you can see here in the merge request, there are some options that need to be added. The most important one being the anti-lag vulkan layer, as you can see here on this line. If this is not added, it won't be included in the mesa-git package. So if we go to the cache.us package build repository, for example, we can see here that the anti-lag feature is already added. Like if we go here into layers, we see that we have the option anti-lag. And if we jump into the build options, you can see that the layers is added. So if you use mesa-git from the cache.us package build repository, it should be in here. But if we go, for example, to the AUR repository, this is the mesa-git package in the AUR. If we look into the Mesa options here, you can see that the anti-lag feature is currently not added here. Like it's in Vulkan layer and it's not added, meaning that if you install this package, it won't be available. If that's the case, you can follow me along in the next step. If things go dire, we need to compile Mesa ourselves. I'm currently on the official documentation. You'll find the link in the description. There's especially one thing that you need to check out, and this is on the requirements here. Depending on your distribution, you have to make sure that you have all the build dependencies installed, otherwise it won't work. The other options I will simplify. There are multiple ways how you can install Mesa. So I will only focus on the way where we have full control and where we can install it into a directory where it won't interfere with our system installation. That's crucial. So I will show you how to do that. So the first thing that we need to do, we are currently in the Mesa repository, and what we need to do is we have to clone the source code to our machine. So I have copied the Git repository URL. I'm going to switch to my terminal. I'm already in a directory where I want to clone it. This can be whatever you want, and I'm just gonna use git clone and copy the URL. This should fetch all the source code. This might take a moment depending on your internet connection. Alright, after we have cloned the repository, we need to navigate into it. So you can just change directory. I already see that it's the repository with the main branch. You can also just enter git status if you want, or ls, for example, to make sure that you are in the right directory. So I'm just going to clear this real quick. What we need to do now is we need to prepare our build directory. For this, we use meson setup build, but we need to add two important options that I will explain. I'm just going to copy the command real quick. The first option, as you can see here, is the prefix. This is where we will install Mesa. Make sure that's in the opt folder or somewhere in your home directory where it won't interfere with your system install. And the other important option is the Vulkan layer anti-lag. So with this, we make sure that the binaries are installed. So we're just going to run this. This won't compile anything yet. It's just going to prepare everything that we need. This shouldn't take too long. And after this, we can proceed with the next step. After we have done this, we can now install Mesa. For this, we need another command, but it's pretty straightforward. We're just gonna run meson install, and then we have to add our directory, in our case build. And if I run this, this will take a moment depending on your processing power. So I will just let this run and continue when it's finished. After it has finished, it will ask for elevated privileges if you install it into the opt folder, because we need sudo access for that. If you install it in the home folder, this should not appear. But yeah, I entered my password, and now you can see it copied all the relevant binary folders into our prefix. I'm in my file explorer now, in my case Dolphin, could be anything else. And I have installed it in opt, so I'm gonna go into my opt folder here. And as you can see, I already have multiple Mesa versions installed right here. In my case, it's the Mesa anti-lag folder though. So I'm gonna open that one. And we have two files that we're interested in. One of them is in the share folder, so I'm just gonna open this in a new tab. I'm gonna show that afterwards. The other one is in the lib folder, so I'm gonna open this. And here we see our binary file. It should be named anti-lag. So this is one of the files that we need. The other one is in the share directory. For this, we need to go into the Vulkan folder and then into the implicit layer directory. And here we should have a JSON definition file that's named the same. So in my case, it worked. And we now need to move those two files into our home directory. All right, I'm in my home directory, or specifically in my .local folder. You should have a shared library folder as well here. If not, you can create them. I have them already here because of the lossless scaling frame generation tool. But the share folder you should already have available. If we go here, there should also be a Vulkan folder and an implicit layer directory. So we go in here. And you should have multiple overlays here. For example, the Steam overlay is located here. And in my case, also the lossless frame generation is also installed. We're going to install it the same way. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our Mesa install, take our JSON definition file and copy it into our implicit layer directory. And our binary file here, we're just going to copy in our library folder right here. And that's about it. So those are the only two files that we need. So just to confirm here, we have those two files right here. And we now just need to make a small adjustment in the JSON file. So in the JSON file, what we need to do is we need to open that one real quick, because right now there's an issue where it doesn't find the binary file. You see there's a path right here on the library path in that JSON file, and what we need to do is we need to copy the full path of our binary file into that. So I'm in my library folder here, and what I can do here in Dolphin is just copy the location, and I'm just gonna paste it here. Obviously you can do whatever tools you prefer, but this is a convenient way of showing it. So with this, anti-lag 2 should work now. Before I demonstrate it, I'm just gonna go into my Steam library right here, where I have the two games that I want to showcase right here. Just want to go over all the options in the Proton GE version, just to add some notes. If I go to the properties here in Counter-Strike 2, you see like basically all of those are optional. You can you don't need to add anything here. But what you have to make sure of is that on the compatibility that you use a recent Proton GE version. Proton EM is also fine, but this is just what I use. If I go here to Deep Rock Galactic again, those are optional. And again, I'm using a recent Proton GE version. So as long as this is covered, I will now show you how it should look like in game. So we are in Deep Rock Galactic, and I think this is pretty easy to cover. I'm just gonna open the OptiScaler overlay again. And as you can see here on the current method, you should now see anti-lag 2. So this is a really nice way to confirm that it's working. You could also switch back to latency flex if you prefer it. But yeah, I mean, this is basically all we need to test. Another way to confirm again, we can just go into the game directory. I'm just going to show this again. Your Steam library and your game directory might differ from mine. But you should find a fake NVAPI log. And I'm just going to open this again with my file editor here. Just going to make it a bit bigger. And you see this time we see that it has successfully initialized. This is also a convenient way to check it if you don't want the OptiScaler overlay, for example. But yeah. And in Counter-Strike 2, it's actually pretty straightforward. We just go again into the video settings here. And now you see that we have AMD Anti-Lag 2.0 as an option available. Just make sure that it's enabled in-game and you should be good to go. This concludes my little tutorial video. I hope you managed to make it work. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'm willing to help you if you struggle with it. But before I conclude this video, I just want to add some more information regarding why all of this is necessary and probably will be necessary in the near future. That's because I currently have the merge request open that contains all of the changes regarding the anti-lag Vulkan layer. And as you can see, this got merged very recently, about 20 hours ago. And sadly, those changes barely missed the merge window of 25.2. I have to elaborate. If we go to the release calendar of Mesa, as of the making of this video, we are currently on the 25.2 branch, so they're currently preparing the release of this version. As you can see, they're currently in the release candidate phase. And it's scheduled that it will release sometime in August. But obviously they, in order to prepare that version, they made a split between this version and the new stuff. So if we go into the history branch here, or like the commit history, we see that they made the split like on July 16th. So the merge missed the window by like a week, which is unfortunate. But I think this is all planned. You know, I'm not blaming anyone, but just for your information, I think because of that, it might take a while until all of those changes will be merged into stable. It might be released into a minor release, you know, 25.2 point something, if the demand is there. I don't know what the plans are, but as of right now, this is how it looks. So yeah. So just as an additional information, and I will now finish with everything. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.